All right, so to cut your butter into your flour, you're going to take your pastry cutter and just push down from the top, and you're going to see the chunks are going to stick to it. This is why you need to make sure you are working with clean hands, so you can push the butter off and just continue to let it go through. As it goes through, it will get cut into smaller and smaller pieces. You can see that the pieces of butter are becoming smaller and smaller. These are still fairly large. We want them to be small pebble-sized pieces. If you find it difficult to get the flour to get it down to pebble-sized pieces, the other thing you can do is use your fingers to just mush those butter pieces into the flour. This is the old-fashioned way, pre-pastry cutter. So that you can get that to happen too. So again, you can work with this with the pastry cutter, you can work with this with your fingers. What you are looking for is to get this so that it kind of has the texture or the appearance of oatmeal where the butter pieces are, or so that it has kind of a small pebble-like appearance. So that's what we are looking for in order to have that well mixed in. When it comes to adding your milk or your buttermilk, you want to add it just a little bit at a time. Give yourself a chance to stir in the milk, and as you do, it will seem like it will disappear, but the flour will start clumping together. So don't add too much at once. You can draw in the flour from the edges to make sure that the parts that are sticking to the sides and not at the bottom are also getting wet. But you also want to make sure that that milk gets down to the bottom, that you don't have a pile of dry flour on the bottom. Most recipes will tell you you want to add milk until a soft ball forms. You can see here that the flour is still kind of falling apart, so I want to keep adding milk. I've added nearly all my milk now, and on this side it's very sticky and wet, but on this side I still have dry flour. So I really want to make sure that I'm incorporating all of that before I add my last bits of milk, because I don't want to have a spot that is just dry flour and another spot that is almost liquid when I've run out of milk. But you can see that this is starting to form a ball here as it's starting to come together. So now my dough is almost entirely in one ball, and as I turn it over, I don't really have any dry spots. Some of this is just sticky dough stuck to the side. So I'm ready to move on from here. After you mix the bread, you may need to knead it a little bit. You're going to want to have a clean surface, maybe a pastry cloth or pastry sheet, or a kitchen counter can work. Just make sure that you've cleaned it off first. Put some flour on it and spread it out with your hand. I'm working here with soda bread dough, but it is very similar in consistency to biscuit dough, so you'll be able to see how this works just fine. So as I pull it out here, it's staying together kind of as one lump, but I might have places where I have some of the flour that is not incorporated as well, or I might have spots that are too sticky. So if you need to knead your dough, the way this works is you fold it over in half, and with biscuit dough you want to be very gentle because we're not trying to tangle the glutens. What we're trying to do is just get things mixed together. So you fold it in half, push it down to mix in anything that was on the outside, and then you rotate it. 1/4 turn. I say clockwise just so you understand that I'm not flipping it over, I'm rotating it, but counterclockwise works as well. That doesn't really matter. and just fold it over. Now you're only going to need to do this a couple of times to really get the sticky and the floured parts mixed in together. Then you're going to want this to be spread out. Now in our lab we don't have rolling pins, and rolling pins tend to encourage people to spread this out too much. So you can just gently use your fingers to spread out the dough. Now this is about twice as much dough as you will have, so it's going to look a little bit bigger than yours. And the flour that is on the bottom that you put on your floured surface is going to help you to spread it out without it being too sticky. And then once you've got it spread out this far, you want it to be maybe an inch high here. You're going to take your pastry cutter and dip your pastry cutter in flour. The reason you want to do that is that the inside of the dough is still very sticky, and it will make the pastry cutter sticky too, so that'll make it hard to cut your other biscuits. You want to make at least 4 biscuits, but you may have remnants left over. Just kind of form them into a ball and make another biscuit out of those.